Claire, I got your final test results. You are 100% clear to go. Free and clear, ready to be the Bachelorette. This is your time. So I'm gonna leave you.
Okay.
And you're gonna go get ready because all this is happening tonight.
I'm Claire and I'm the Bachelorette. Again, take 2.
It's finally Bachelorette season. It's finally happened. Claire, we're with you, girl. There's so much to talk about. And of course, we're going to do it with Rachel Lindsay. Let's batch. This episode is brought to you by eBay Authenticity Guarantee. eBay knows that when it comes to jewelry, authenticity is the real gem. When you see the blue check mark that says Authenticity Guarantee, it means your next piece will be carefully inspired by jewelry experts and will always be worth its weight in gold. Whether you're looking to make a statement or build the perfect everyday look, eBay is making sure you get the real deal. With eBay Authenticity Guarantee, you can trust that jaw-dropping piece will always arrive jaw-droppingly real. Ensure your next purchase is the real deal. Visit ebay.com for terms. This episode is brought to you by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. All right, it's official. I think I've discovered the ultimate coupling of all time. Like any good relationship, they really balance each other out. One is super sweet, and the other, well, they can be a little nutty sometimes. It is, of course, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, the perfect combination of peanut butter and chocolate. So perfect, some would call it true love. Find Reese's now at a store near you. Welcome to Bachelor Party. I'm Juliet Litman. Rachel, hello.
Juliet, glad to be back. Happy to be here with you. New season to talk all things Bachelorette. How long do you feel like we've been waiting for this season?
So long. I mean, it's been like 7 months. Well, I guess that's not true. It was supposed to air in May, so it's been like 5 months. But it was supposed to start filming in March, so like that was 7 months. It just feels like we've been waiting a long time, and like I was sick of just like hypothesizing and like wondering what was going to happen. So I was so happy to get some action. And I thought it was a good episode. What was your initial reaction?
It was a great episode. And I knew it. You know, I'm a big Clare fan. So I knew Clare would bring in. And I feel like some of the rumors that we've been hearing are put out there by production. Yeah. So I feel like whatever we think happens, it's not going to play out that way.
Oh, interesting. Like what's a rumor put out there by production?
These are rumors. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But I guess I just mean like, I can't answer that without giving stuff away. I was about to give you something. I was like, nah, that's giving it away.
All right. Well, I just want to put something on the table because we need to talk about it first and foremost. It's the biggest difference in this episode than any other premiere. And this is spoilery, but like, I think that everyone knows that Clare seemingly picks Dale. And it is so obvious from this episode. It's kind of like nuts.
So were you shocked that they showed so much?
Yes, I was shocked. Not only was I shocked they showed so much Dale, I was shocked at the music they were playing. I was like, I know this music. This is from the finale. This is the music they play when the lead has found their person and they're like in some beautiful scenic cliffside, like in a bikini or shirtless if they're a man. And this is the music plays. And I was like, wait, what are we doing? This is not episode 1 music. It was like so jarring. Did you notice that?
I loved it. Yes. And I loved it because production's playing with us, right? They're playing into whatever these rumors are. And I appreciated that because wouldn't you, like now that you've watched the episode, wouldn't you rather watch it this way than say like, why are they acting dumb? Like, we don't know all these rumors are out there. But I too was floored that they showed Clare saying that after Dell rolled up. And Dell really was last. That was the order.
They didn't show him last. Guys came after him in the episode.
Dell was last.
Oh, interesting. And so what she says is she gasped and she was just like, I just found my husband. And she really is like overwhelmed. And you like see this look on her face. It's kind of crazy. I have to say, like, I kind of like I was really happy for her. And also everyone knows that feeling, right? Like maybe it's not your husband, but like when you meet someone that you just feel like you instantly click with and you're really excited to talk to them more and like maybe see them naked, you're just so excited. And it was cool to like see that happening on TV because I think the show is designed to not have that moment happen, right? So like
You
It was
think
so different. Yeah.
Because first of all, she goes, I knew it. And I was like,
Yes.
Claire, they're showing everything. This is crazy.
Yes. Okay. And let's dig into that. I knew it. What does that imply?
I think, listen, Claire, and she's admitted this. You know, we've had her on our podcast and she's come out and she said, listen, I had the advantage to look into every man that had been announced back in March and dive into who they are and stalk them on social media. So obviously she took a liking to him before.
Yeah.
So whatever maybe preconceived notions she had about him, they were solidified. And she says, I knew it. I mean, she admits to it.
100%.
It's crazy. But here's the thing about that is what production wants. So this is going to the point that you just made. When you're the lead, they say to you after you meet all the men, so like, do you think you found your husband?
Right.
And we're all like, okay, I don't remember these people. Like, can we chill? I like them. There's potential here, but I don't know. And for the first time ever, Claire's like, no. He's here and that's actually him. that's him right there. This is what they wanted.
They don't. Do you think they even prompted her? It really seemed like she just said it. I mean, clearly they're like asking her questions as the guys go by, but she just like offers it up right away.
They don't ask you questions. No,
They don't.
Like this when the guys before they come up, it's more of like try to say a little something after they walk away. So like that's why you'll see her say like the attorney came up and she said something like, "Oh, you're guilty" or something like, or I'm guilty.
Yeah.
I don't know what she said.
Guilty of looking handsome.
Okay, exactly. So what she said after Dale, that's not prompted. Nobody asked her that question. Like she said, she blacked out. She was just like talking how she was feeling.
Oh my God. He is really handsome. He also is like, well, she's clearly tiny. Also, I just want to say Claire, she looked great. I was like,
fantastic.
Her body looked so hot. She just like really put together. That dress I did not care for, but it looked really good on her. She looked really good. I was happy for her. And it was just a lot. And Dale is like massive. He makes her look like a Polly Pocket. Like he could like fit her into his backpack or something.
I know. And were you surprised that he was shy? He came across as very like nervous and shy. I thought he was going to be more suave.
I thought he came across as pretty smart. He described himself as an empath and like immediately went to like the serious stuff. And I liked it. I mean, Dale is like going to be America's sweetheart. They're going to be America's sweethearts together. And then the other thing that was shocking was they showed him in bed with her. Like, I'm just like, what is this from?
But they're right. I was shocked because we don't see her in bed. Well, we do see another man on top of her in the end. And I can't tell if that's Dell or not. He's definitely a man of color. That is what I will say. I'm shocked that we see him in bed, but they're also playing into you think you know, but you have no idea because now there's this whole narrative of, you know, is Dell there for the right reasons? Does she really know him? They're really giving us a lot and I love it more than they ever have before.
Way more. But that just also shows you there's like must be so much coming that they're not worried about giving away this much in the opening tease, you know? I also just thought that the way that Dale got the first impression rose was also just like, it came pretty early as well. It was so much Dale. And I was like, okay, they're really going for it.
And I think they have to. And this is why they're so smart in how they're playing it. I would be frustrated if she didn't give it to Dell or they made it seem like she, you know, was really into Blake, you know, the guy who messaged her or whatever. That was more of a sweet moment. I mean, she said, I see my husband. So it's like, of course, she's initially going to be into him. Maybe we'll see other relationships progress later.
Right, maybe.
But for now, we know she's all in with Dell.
So there's two Blake M's. Blake Moynes, I believe, is the one who she's like, he broke the rule. He contacted me. So what does that tell you about her and Dale? Because one of the rumors was that she was talking to like the guys. And I don't know how many it was. But I guess he reached out. The explicit thing she says is that Blake Moynes reached out to her and it meant so much to her. So he got the, other than the first impression rose, he got the first rose of the night. Like, what does that tell you about her and Dale? And what does that tell you about her and Blake?
Okay. First of all, Dale seems like a rule follower. I'm just going to put that out there.
He does.
Right?
I agree with that.
He really seems like a goody two shoes. That's why I said I thought he was more suave. But he seems like what you see is what you get. Like, I liked it.
Yeah.
I like it. I stereotyped him and he's not that way.
He's so handsome and just so like just physically, he has like a big presence and such a bright smile that I think you just like assume things about like handsome people.
I did the same thing to Brian, right? I was like, oh, he's this way. And he was actually like a really sweet, sensitive, shy guy. He didn't come across shy on camera, but he is in real life. Anyways, so I'm really close with Claire.
You are?
I don't
That's
know if
so
you know
nice.
this.
Like
I
before she
feel
became
like-
the Bachelorette?
Yes.
Oh.
And, well, no, like once she was announced.
Oh, cool.
And I feel like if she had talked to Del, she would have told me.
Okay.
And I'm not just saying that because like I have a podcast with production. I just would avoid the conversation. I really feel like Claire would have told me if she had talked to Del.
Who did she talk to other than Blake?
She didn't talk to anybody.
Really? Wow.
She didn't talk to anybody.
Interesting.
Because here's the thing. When the rumors started, I realized I never asked her that question.
Mm-hmm.
So I flat out asked her after. And she was like, I didn't. Everybody thinks that I did. She was like, did I creep?
Duh.
Yes.
Of course.
She will admit. She's like,
So
I
I
stalked.
creep.
I went
Yeah.
and I'm sure they were doing the same thing for me. Something that, so I creep. I just realized what you were saying.
Exactly.
You know, another thing I didn't think about that Becca Kufrin brought up is we always think about the guys contacting Claire or Claire contacting them. They were probably going in with each other.
Oh, the guys talking to each other?
That was definitely probably happening. Don't you think? Like, having their own bromance, like, bro, what are you doing? Have you talked to anybody? I guarantee you, I think I would have done that. I might have reached out to one of the women.
Yeah, it's like kind of the beginning of college when like you find out like a couple other people, like friends of friends who are also going to the school, and you're like, oh yeah, I'd love to like be in touch with this person, just so you know someone, right? So you have someone to talk to on night one.
Allies.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like you're not like the awkward person sitting in the corner. Although the people you meet like on your first day of college are very rarely your friends forever. Although I am very close with one of my day ones. But anyway. But you know, your freshman friends always give way to like your other friends, which I'm sure happens in the Bachelor world too. It's like you just cling on to people. It totally makes sense. But yeah, there was just so much Dale up front, and I liked it. I like to see this evolve with the times, and I was into it. And I like Dale. I mean, like, what's not to like about this guy? He was very sweet. You know, like he was very real, and that which brings me to like the other thing that was like the second really big thing to happen for me in this episode. I'm curious, like kind of like what your big takeaways were, but my second one was the COVID stuff was fascinating. And I thought that it put Claire in a really cool position in like a weird way, where hearing her talk about like her struggles with not being able to see her mom and just like how she didn't want to like do stuff alone anymore, I think like was just so acute as a result of COVID. And like, who doesn't relate to that? Like, no matter your situation, married, single, parent, not parent, like everyone has like struggled with some sense of like isolation or detachment. And it was like weirdly profound to see this playing out on TV.
I really applaud. This was my number one takeaway. This was my probably most favorite thing of the entire episode, because The Bachelor is known for creating this fantasy, and we call it the Bachelor bubble. But this episode humanized every person who was on screen, because for the first time, you saw them going through the exact same things that you were going through.
Yes.
And then you also saw, and so this was a with the times actual episode, right? And maybe we'll see the format of the show change because it was very relatable. And what I also loved is you saw how excited the men were for the little things. So by the time they got to the big day, they were so appreciative just to have human contact and to talk with people and hug people and interact, and were so appreciative of the experience in a way that you don't see from other contestants.
Yeah, 100%.
I really liked it.
Me too. I really liked it. I really liked hearing, that was like another thing that made Dale like very appealing, was like hearing his honesty about like not being able to see his sister because she is immunosuppressed, like just things like that. Like it was pretty wild. And you're totally right. So it used to be a rule on The Real World that like current cast members couldn't talk about previous seasons. So they try to like treat each one as like very discreet. And so there was like never ever any reference. Obviously, most reality TVs moved away from that model, and they kind of like, they create their world, but like they don't acknowledge the real world. No pun intended. But like, and that used to be like the model of like, you only like acknowledge what's happening on screen. And like the Hills used to like recreate drama because it wasn't caught on camera or whatever. And so it's so cool to see it like actually move away from that and be more like documentary style. And just like you said, like it just made everyone so relatable. And it set up the opening of the show in a really fun way because they've been doing like those selfie videos for a few seasons, right? And they're usually really stupid. But they worked this time though, right? Because you're like, oh, right, you're quarantined. You can't have a camera guy near you.
Yeah. And we didn't have the packages.
Yeah.
So for the
I love that. Oh my God, I didn't even put that together. You're right.
Yeah.
I was so happy to not have them though, in retrospect.
This was better because one, we were getting more of their personalities when they were doing selfie style, which is what people do in real life. So I think that made them more likable. And at the same time, we were getting to really know who they were at the same time Claire was. Yeah. Because we watch the packages, they're a little cheesy. They're a lot of cheesy. And then we have these preconceived notions about different contestants and we pick our favorites. But we really couldn't do that this time.
It's true. Although I did have some favorites. Anyone jump out to you? You're just like, I love this person?
I loved that they were letting Easy be the narrator.
Yes, I thought about that too. Tell me more. What did that signal to you?
I appreciated his joy.
Mm-hmm.
He was very likable. He seemed very excited to be there in a very genuine way and really interested in getting to know Claire. Like I even thought their conversation was cute. He was like, my mom makes sure I go to church. And then she wants to know if I met a girl at church. Like that was it was very real. And then even the way he was poking fun about like not bringing a dessert and everybody out here had food.
I know he was like, it's turning into a potluck.
Yeah, like I felt like I was listening to one of my homeboys talk and I appreciated that. Maybe it doesn't let me know that he goes far, but it lets me know that they like him to make him the narrator. And if there's a paradise, he's definitely going to be the star of it.
Okay. And the other thing I was thinking is like, could he go far with Tayshia? Like, are they setting up storylines for when Tayshia comes in?
I thought about that because, okay, did you think when you were watching the clip, which I'm loving the highlight of the season, right? It looks so good, the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
If Tayshia's season is real, did you think that maybe some of the drama could be from that?
I didn't think about that, but when at the end of the episode, when like the 6 guys or however many it was were sent home, I was just like, are they coming back? I'm like, should I be like just writing these guys off or like, will I see them again? That was my big question.
Think about that.
Yeah. Like, are they coming back? Because one of the rumors is they called guys back for Tayshia.
Yeah.
My biggest question was, who is the guy that's mad at Claire and like lashes out at her about her age? I couldn't tell from the screener. I tried to like keep pausing it. It was very dark on his face. I think it was Brendan, but I'm not sure. Could you tell who that was?
I thought it was either, like there's a guy named Brandon who I think is really attractive.
Yes, he's got curly hair. Yeah.
No. That's Brendan.
Yeah,
this was Brandon.
Oh, I see. Brandon.
I thought it was either Brandon or Yusuf. That's who it looked like it could have been. Yusuf?
Yosef. I think it's Yosef. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Did we even see this guy chasing? I mean, that guy Brandon.
He looked totally different.
I was just like, who is this guy?
Shocked.
By the way, I really liked Brandon as well. I was like, I wrote in my notes, very attractive. And he had a nice entrance. So that would be upsetting to me if he ends up being an asshole.
It looked like him. It's definitely a white male.
Yeah, it's a white guy.
With dark hair.
Who's surprised?
I'm just not sure. I hope it's not Brandon either, because when we were doing it here at Extra and we were picking out who we liked just based off pictures, I picked Brandon, and my co-host or coworker Jen goes, "Of course you did. He looks like Brian." But then I also really thought DeMar was attractive, and we didn't see a lot of him.
No, we only got a little DeMar. Brandon does look like Brian. That's correct. I agree. I'm all in on Ivan. Him playing chess by himself was so funny.
He looks like a boy. He's cute.
Yes, he's too young.
He's too cute. Is he young in age as well?
He's 28, not that young, but like
he's just very little boy.
Yes, I agree with that. But I just can't. Ever since I learned he watched Grey's Anatomy, I've just had a soft spot for him. So I'm just like, give me more Ivan. I'm so excited.
He's cute.
He is cute. Yeah. Who else stuck out to you?
Well, Chasen was a Monet for sure. I was shocked.
I didn't even recognize him. No.
He looks totally I can't get over how different he looks. Sorry I'm not trying to be rude, but he just, come on, everybody listening. He looked totally different.
I didn't even recognize him. I didn't even know he was on the show.
I was like, that's Chasen. Who else stood out to me?
There was a couple guys who stood out for the wrong reasons. So let's just talk about this Yosef and Tyler C drama. First of all, we can't have another Tyler C. So he has to leave.
he literally could have been a mute and stayed simply because his name preceded him, right? Yeah. Like the carpet was laid out for you. Yeah. Like this was a cakewalk. It was handed to you on a silver platter and somehow you messed it up.
Yeah.
Like I'm Tyler C. and walk away.
He was so annoying. I did like that Yosef called him Mini McConaughey. He was like, that was hilarious. But I think that's a good point to like what you're saying. Like Yosef and Mini McConaughey were probably in touch because like they have mutual friends and they had, 4 months to just like be Instagram DMing. Like what are guys like this, like this younger generation who chooses to go on reality TV, like what's their medium of choice for communication? Do they text? Is it a DM?
I think it's DMs. I think people DM now and treat it like it's text messages.
It's super weird to me.
I don't like it. I barely check my DMs. Like you're not going to get in touch with me.
Also, it's just like, why? I mean, I guess like you're entrusting with some platform or another with like your communications, but like, do you really want that to be happening on Instagram? I don't know. It's just super weird to me. It just seems like easily hacked. I don't get it.
I agree with you. It's a different generation, but let's be honest. He definitely was texting those women. He never denied it.
No, he didn't deny it. He basically was like, what's wrong with that? Which I kind of liked because what is wrong with that? He hadn't got on the show yet. Like
everybody's talking to somebody before the show.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
If we all do it.
Looking to be dating, of course. This reminds me of Tyler Hero, who I believe he has an Instagram girlfriend, but I think he was caught like responding to someone's DM. I did a deep dive on Tyler Hero and his girlfriend recently, and I found all these like fan accounts of Tyler Hero and his girlfriend. Her name is Katya, I believe.
She's Insta famous.
Do you know how they got together?
DMs, I'm assuming.
He tweeted at her and she responded, and now she's in the bubble with them. So
she's in the bubble?
Yeah, she's in the bubble. Isn't that crazy?
This is what women strive to achieve this type of thing. Oh, maybe if he'll
I'm impressed.
tweet at me, DM me.
Yeah.
I mean, she has her own following, but
good job by her though. Although being a wag in the bubble seems super boring. Like, what do you do?
Hang out with other wags.
But like, I don't know. Also, he's like the youngest player. He's 20. Like, I don't know. I feel like the actual, like the W's, the Y's are probably just like, I don't really want to hang out with you. That's why she's there.
They're just getting it in.
Well, that's good. I mean, you know.
Oh, for him, for sure. If I was a dude, I'd definitely want my girl there. Absolutely.
Of course, because you can't, there's none of the benefits of being an NBA player in the bubble, except for the fact that you're playing for the championship. But you can't like meet women. You can't go to the club.
Apparently you can, because old boy from, was it the Rockets?
Lou Williams?
No, it wasn't Lou Williams. There was the guy
Daniel House. That was
who
rough.
Ended up with the COVID tester.
Yes,
or something like that.
That was tough.
So,
that was very, very
there
tough.
is a way to meet people.
Anyway, my point in bringing this up was I don't understand how these guys are communicating. And moreover, Tyler Hero, he could be a great bachelor in the future if the NBA thing doesn't work out, but it seems like it will. Anyway, I also was excited about Easy. I wanted to note to you, I know you're a sports fan. Did you know that he was on Hard Knocks? He was on the Texans season a few years ago.
They showed him getting released.
Yeah.
He was one of those.
Yes.
Oh, it's rough. I mean, I knew he played for a team. I wish they would put that up there, like what teams they played with, just for us sports fans. There's a lot of sports fans that watch The Bachelor.
So much football crossover. So much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's a sports marketing agent. He seems like a lot of fun.
Which is a really good move. Yeah. Moving from being a player to being a marketing agent. It's really smart. Like good job by you. He lives in Newport. I like Easy a lot. Like he seems fun. Happy to have him in Bachelor Nation. Look forward to him doing like the circuit on everyone's podcast and whatnot. Like great stuff.
Hated his shoes with his suit though. That's my only negative to Easy.
Also, Easy wore the salmon suit, right?
Yeah.
Which was like a nice throwback to Hannah season, salmon. I wonder if someone told him to do that or he just like chose to.
I think he chose to. Billy Bush has a salmon jacket that he wears all the time as well.
He probably didn't get it from The Bachelorette.
He is a big fan though.
Is he?
Oh, huge Bachelor fan.
Nice. Do people like pepper you for info at work?
All the time.
Wow. Well, you don't give them all the good stuff. Save it for your podcast.
Well, we're also Warner Brothers, so it's like we're all under the same family here.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, interesting. So you're all on the same like lot in Burbank or something?
I am in Burbank, but I'm not on the big Warner Brothers lot.
Okay.
We're across the freeway.
Okay. Some other people that I was really into, and I want to know who else you were into. I thought I thought just Yosef bringing the moon pies was great, though I didn't care
and
for
Easy
him.
called them Thin Mints. I was like, I'm obsessed. That's what I would have said. I loved it.
I know. It was so funny. Bennett. Let's talk about Bennett. Obviously, they want us to like think something about him. He came in the Rolls Royce, James Bond style tux. I mean, like, if you really wanted to impress me, you would have gotten a Bentley. You know, just saying.
It was it was old. I felt like all his personality was wrapped up in that car and the scarf around his neck. There wasn't much else there.
And he went to Harvard and he was like making a big deal about the H-bomb and like everyone caring about that.
Why are you playing into a stereotype, right? He's probably nothing like that.
I know. It's just, he sucked. And I feel like he knows that there's nothing there for him. So he just went for it. Like, these guys who consent to doing some of the like more ridiculous stunts up top, like what motivates that? They think it's going to get them screen time, or like why did they decide to do it?
I think, and this was kind of said to me by a producer before, I think when you know, like I was told for me, you don't really need to do something extreme, just be yourself and you'll be fine. But I think if it's like maybe you'll go home the first night, maybe if you don't have a big personality and you need to do something to stand out, you should have a gimmick.
Right. If there's just going to be no chemistry.
Right.
But like have more faith in yourself, you know? Make it better. Like just raise the bar. Even
sometimes
that guy,
people just do what like they think they should do what the producers want because it's going to make them go far. There's a lot of those.
Even like Ben, the Army Ranger, who was just like, let's just take a deep breath together. I thought that was actually very sweet.
That was
normal.
Nice.
He's just like, oh, I'm nervous. She was nervous too.
That was nice.
I liked it.
I liked that.
There's a lot of guys here who seem like pretty boring. I feel like in the attempt to age up and make them a little bit more career focused, they're like a little bit too normal. So there wasn't a lot of like, oh, I get a big feel for this guy's personality. I feel like it's going to take a little bit more to like coax him out. Plus everyone, you know, is getting back to socializing. They hadn't been doing it for so long.
If you lose your personality after 4 or 5 months, you never had it.
Ouch. Ouch, that's so harsh.
Never had it.
What is a bigger turnoff? A guy coming in a straitjacket and keeping it on, or a guy coming pretending to be pregnant as a callback to your season if you're Claire?
I didn't get the pregnancy thing.
Well, when she walked in, her entrance for Juan Pablo, she pretended to be pregnant.
Oh, definitely. I didn't see Juan Pablo's season.
So embarrassing. They showed it in the episode. When they showed her, although she didn't even like look that pregnant. She's so skinny that like pregnant for Claire is like like what I look like on like a good day, you know? Just like it's just like okay, because when they showed it in the flashback, it's just like okay, whatever. She's like had a bump, I guess, but that was her entrance for Juan Pablo.
Went over my head. I would have rather been the pregnant guy.
The straitjacket was weird. And then he kept it on. Why did he keep it on?
He couldn't even toast. Remember, he was like, well, I guess I don't get to participate in toast. Like, that's when you were like, excuse me, I need someone to let me go.
Super
Can you
weird.
imagine staying in that all night? Like, that's...
No.
They tell you to commit sometimes to your costumes, which no one came in a full-out costume this time.
Thank
that
goodness.
was too far.
This episode is brought to you by Visible. Maybe you've already let your New Year's resolution slip. We all have, but you can still make a 2 year's resolution with Visible. Right now, you can get a one-line wireless plan from Visible for just $20 per month for 24 months. 24 months is basically 4 Bachelor seasons. That could be 4 engagements, 4 broken engagements, so many other couples we didn't see coming. It's really an eternity in Bachelor Nation. And that's unlimited 5G data powered by Verizon with no annual contracts. Switch now at Visible.com and use the code Visible24. Don't miss out. Offer ends January 31st. New members only. Promotional rate with service on the Visible plan. For additional terms and network management practices, see Visible.com. This episode is brought to you by eBay Authenticity Guarantee. eBay knows that when it comes to jewelry, authenticity is the real gem. When you see the blue check mark that says Authenticity Guarantee, it means your next piece will be carefully inspired by jewelry experts and will always be worth its weight in gold. Whether you're looking to make a statement or build the perfect everyday look, eBay is making sure you get the real deal. With eBay Authenticity Guarantee, you can trust that jaw-dropping piece will always arrive jaw-droppingly real. Ensure your next purchase is the real deal. Visit ebay.com for terms. This episode is brought to you by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. All right, it's official. I think I've discovered the ultimate coupling of all time. Like any good relationship, they really balance each other out. One is super sweet And the other, well, they can be a little nutty sometimes. It is, of course, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, the perfect combination of peanut butter and chocolate. So perfect, some would call it true love. Find Reese's now at a store near you. The guy who I dislike the most, like I don't know why, but he just really just rubbed me the wrong way, was Jason, who...
Which one was he?
He is the guy who came in pregnant, and he said homage wrong. He said homage, which I know is a mistake people make, but like maybe don't say
Juliet.
the word if you don't. I'm sorry. Juliet. It really bothered
That's
me.
why you don't like him, because he said homage.
Yes, it rubbed me the wrong way, and I just felt like he clearly was nervous, but was instead of trying to like find a way to calm down, he was overcompensating, which, like, I get it. You want another thing I noticed? Not that much drinking.
At the faces. Not that much drinking, but like you said, it's like a boring group, but just more of like a normal group.
Yes.
Because even when the drama started, someone was like, already?
I know.
Even
I know.
like the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, it's like, in past seasons, I could name some seasons where I don't think anyone could make that reference.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
The bar is high. That's why you need to pronounce homage properly.
Yeah, you've got like aeronautical engineers and, professors of journalism and whatever else. Like these people, Harvard, I'm looking at the face cards right now.
I know there's so many guys. How many got voted out? I don't even know. I think it was like 7 or so.
4.
Only
Wait,
4?
What? Did I miss?
Maybe I messed that up. I got to watch it again. I only watched it one time.
I only watched it one time too. Tyler C. Paige, which I was dying about Paige because Van on our podcast, Higher Learning, picked Paige to be the winner.
Oh my God, Van.
Paige, like, you clearly don't watch this show.
Paige is a big Ringer fan, so shout out to Paige. Perhaps he'll come on one of our podcasts.
That's interesting because he said he didn't understand people who like football or something like that in his bio, which I thought was, I know the Ringer's more than football, but I'm just saying.
I'm glad you brought that up, Rachel. I hope he doesn't mind that I'll be sharing what he told me, which is that he said that was taken out of context and that his issue is not that he doesn't like football, he doesn't get why people like it, but that he doesn't understand being obsessed with it from like a political and moral standpoint.
He should, they definitely took that out of context. Because I was like, that doesn't even make sense.
Yes,
I was like, you live in Austin. Well. You live in Austin. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
I know. And it's like, clear eyes, full hearts can't lose, Austin. Like, you got to like football. At least you don't need to like it. Take that back. You don't have to do anything. But you have to understand why people care about it. And I feel like if you've been around a football-loving community, taking all the ethics away, it's infectious, Like, when I went to college in the Big Ten, but like at one of the lesser football colleges, and I was just like, this stinks. Like, we don't get to have this cool culture that like everyone coalesces around,
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot you can understand about the culture, even if you don't support many of the controversial and frankly problematic pieces of the sport. Anyway, Paige, he clarified. So thanks to Paige. Anyway, He's out. But he was actually the one where I was like, is that it? Like, maybe he's coming back for Tayshia.
Oh, yeah. Well, so far he's out. Tyler C was out. This Mike guy's out. And I saw 4. I think it was Chris.
It was just very hard to tell for a lot of like what was going on. What's your take on the setting? Like, how are you feeling about the La Quinta 1 episode in?
Check this out. I didn't even notice that she wasn't in front of the mansion.
Okay, that's funny because I noticed that the ground wasn't wet. I was like, oh, they couldn't hose it down? Why not?
But I knew she wasn't in front of the mansion, but it wasn't a big deal that the mansion wasn't there. If you heard that was going to happen, it's kind of like, whoa. Then you see it and it's like, I'm paying attention to the limo and the man who's walking outside of it and Claire and their interaction.
I was wondering where the limos came from, Like,
because now I can say, having been to La Quinta, like, because I was there.
Yeah.
There's a long drive up. I'm not sure where they filmed that part, but there's a long drive and there's like, it's very neighborhoody inside the resort. So, because people live there, they have residences.
Oh, nice. So it's one of those.
Yeah.
Really fancy.
It's easy to see how the limos could pull up and then just like maybe keep moving.
Will you be going to Nemacolin where Matt James is?
So I have been asked to go, but the problem is that now I have a full-time job.
Yeah, you've got a job.
And you have to quarantine when you get there.
Right.
And then because I'm on set here, I'd have to quarantine for a number of days. So I would miss like 2.5 weeks of work.
Oh, so that's out.
To be
You
a
can't
part
go.
of Matt's season. So unless I go in the capacity of like giving advice, but then also
Extra.
as an extra reporter, then I could. But I had a long talk with Matt before the season started. And
Really?
I'm really a big fan.
Me too.
Big fan.
What?
Like
tell
stepped
me
in
more.
total big. Well, I mean, it's no secret that I was a big proponent for Mike Johnson to be the Bachelor. And I still think there is a world where he would be a fantastic Bachelor. I didn't know much about Matt James, but the fact that he wanted to reach out and talk, and we talked for hours.
Really?
What? And he was asking me questions.
I just want to say on a friend level, I'm furious we haven't discussed this yet. I can't believe you didn't tell
haven't
me.
talked to any. I didn't even talk about this on Bachelor Happy Hour. Like I haven't talked about it because I obviously don't want to violate trust or anything.
Sure.
But I truly appreciated that he was like, I really want to talk to you and want to know how you navigated this and what it was like to be Black in this world and, you know, how to do it. He wants to do it right.
Yeah.
And it was just more of a talk of like, so he just asked me questions about everything. And I was very brutally honest, but I'm excited for him after having that conversation because he wants it to go well.
Wow. This is big, Rachel.
And I think a lot of people, and even myself at sometimes, it's like, oh, okay, like he's Tyler's best friend. He saw what happened with Tyler after it. And he's like, this could happen for me. We could be Ebony and Ivory in this thing, really be a tag team. That really was my mindset.
Yeah.
I didn't know much about him. And I judged him without knowing. And to like, you know, even production picking him and announcing him the way that I did, it wasn't that they picked him, it's how they announced him that I had a real problem with.
Rushed. Yeah.
But I get it. And I loved it. And I would talk to him again. And I was like, you turned a big fan and supporter out of me. And I even joked with him. I was like, don't worry. While you're in the bubble, I'm not going to be out here like talking about you a certain way. I'm really excited for him. And I think he had valid concerns about how he's going to look and if he does certain things and what he's looking for in the women. And he really wants like, it'll be interesting to see what he falls for because I know what he's looking for. Mm-hmm. I know the type of woman that he wants. And he wants a woman with caliber, like a woman who, you know, like has some depth and isn't just there for like a good time. But there's always a trap.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Interesting. I'm a big fan. I said a couple weeks ago, I just don't feel like it's going to like whoever he picks. I don't see it like lasting long term, but who knows?
I believe he really wants it to.
That's good.
You know?
Yeah.
I really
okay.
do.
Okay. That's great.
I mean, of course, he's not going to tell me, you know, I don't want this, but I also think he's worried. Same fear I had. What are these people going to be like? And are they really into me?
Right.
And, you know, like, is it somebody that I could really connect with? Because I went on the show thinking there's no way I'm going to connect with the man that's going to be on this season. And he has those same fears. And I think that's valid.
Interesting. What do you think about someone he previously may have dated being on the show? Madison. Have you heard about that? I
did. I saw it somewhere. I saw it. Shame on her. Right? Like, really, girl?
I think if you dated,
it's the thirstiest thing for me. Sorry, you had a chance.
Yeah.
It didn't work out for whatever reason. So now you want to come on TV. It's very Liz, right? From Nick's season. Now you want to come on TV to date me? Like, and then just imagine being a girl in the house. Like, you didn't just date him. You've been caught at a fashion show with him and you legit hung out with him.
Yeah, hung out.
It wasn't a flyby thing.
No.
And now you want to come on a show? It's slightly creepy. I don't know the story behind it.
Pretty lame. It's just like you knew him.
So lame. It's thirsty.
You could have connected with him. You didn't. We're assuming, we don't know. And now you're on the show. So she's got to win us over.
Like you're trying to win him back. Like, how do you redeem yourself from this? How is there a way that this can be okay, Juliet? I don't see it.
Well, if I were him, I would be annoyed. I'd be like, I've gone on the show to like find someone. I already know you. I know it's not you. If it was you, we'd be together. So what are we supposed to do here? I mean, I think I would send him home night one. So I don't know.
That was Nick. That's how Nick felt about Liz. Like,
and then she tried to like embarrass him. Liz, which wasn't cool.
It's not good for you, girl. You're not going far.
I like forgot that you were on Nick's season for a second. I was like,
a lot of people do. I think they think I'm a Matt James. So I think some people just think they chose me to be the Bachelorette. No, guys,
I
I paid my dues.
No, it's a credit to you. It's because you've done so many other things that it's not like Rachel from Nick's season. It's just Rachel, you know?
Thank you.
Yeah, you got it. Back to Clare for a second. Another thing that I was thinking a lot about as I was watching, the guys who were wearing like 3-piece suits or straight jacket man or whatever, it was fucking hot where they were. It was like insanely hot. And I'll just tell you, the desert doesn't cool down that much at night in July. It's like still in the 90s. Yeah. And I was just like, how are these men not profusely sweating? How was Clare not profusely sweating?
Clare said it was 118 degrees by the time. And she said the first night really was a long night.
I would have lost my mind. I would have just been like, okay, I'm staying in this air-conditioned room. The men can come in one by one. That's insane. And like, how was she not sweating? Great job by hair and makeup.
I run hot. Yeah,
Me
she
too.
looked. Jeannie and Carrie all did a fantastic job. Randy, the dress was outstanding. Yeah, she said her back was drenched and she was soaking, but
didn't see it.
You didn't see it.
And Gray really shows off a lot of sweat. So good job by everyone to not show that. But
yeah.
But with Bennett, the guy who was in like the tux, I was just like, he must be so hot. I cannot get it. And the guy who I was excited about beforehand, who
were you excited about before? Oh, Jordan. Weren't you excited for Jordan?
Yes, I believe so. He's very tall and also seems smart. He wasn't wearing socks and his pants were like a little too cropped for me. He was definitely trying to look like an NBA player before a game. I didn't care for that. However,
he so was.
I was just like, well, it's really hot. Maybe he has to wear capris for some airflow.
Or maybe he's 6'8" and it's really hard to find a pant that works.
That's possible. But he's got a whole lifetime of like knowing how to shop or like knowing he's going on the show. Order something special. Support your local business. Go to a tailor. Have them help you. I mean, there are so many ways around that. I just, whatever. My absolute least favorite thing that anyone did though this episode was the guy with the fart box. The one who, when instead of having the ring box, it was like a fart. I'm just like, how old are you? And also like, no, thank you.
So I had, who was that? Zach?
I think
I had the volume off. For some reason, I didn't see it. And I was like, is that ass? Like I didn't hear the noise. I just saw the image. And then he kept doing it, showing it to other guys. And they're laughing. I'm like, guys are so stupid.
And it's just like, it's not funny. It's just like really weird.
Where do you find something like that? There's no way he found that. Production gave that to him.
No, production gave it to him. But like, even why did they bring it?
It's so bro-y. Like, really, I would have laughed him home.
I know.
Night one.
I know. It was so bro-y. For a night one, do you think this was like the least Chris Harrison we've ever gotten? Not a lot of him.
But this is, we are seeing less and less of Chris Harrison.
Yeah.
But she had the talk with him before.
That's true. I
think we saw a lot of them.
I guess she's just really powerful. I feel like I underestimated Clare. I was just like, I had two competing thoughts. One was I've underestimated this woman. She is speaking from the heart. She's being genuine. This is very sweet. I appreciated it. I really appreciated her vulnerability. I found it in this moment very relatable. And then I was like, and you know, I'm really glad it's not a full season of Clare. I don't need 12 episodes of Clare. And like, in no way is that like mean, but I mean, I know it's mean, but I don't mean it that way. I just was like, I don't need a full season of this. This is good. I'm excited that it's like a part season.
I think, and maybe you think that way too, because that's the rumor that's out there.
Yeah.
But we've had, I've gotten close to Clare since she's been announced. We've had her on the podcast. And, I just keep saying I'm such a fan because it's so refreshing to see someone who has figured things out about themselves.
Yeah.
And isn't figuring it out also while figuring the show out.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it because then we have these seasons in the way they do. We have these silly narratives that follow thereafter. And I'm just like, I want to see the season happen and I want to see it done and I want to see them move on.
Yeah. Yeah. She had that one line, which was like, she's tired of being strong on her own. And I just thought that was like very poignant because she obviously is strong and she's withstood a lot of like criticism and people like me being mean, and she's still doing her thing and just been like following her heart. I don't know. I really liked her. And like I said, I was like, I really like her and I just don't need that much of her, but I wish her the best.
Do you feel like that resonated with you too? And that resonates with me because we are women in our 30s. And I think a lot of people who were watching will feel that. They'll understand 100%, that.
Yes.
Like my dad said to the men, even though you didn't see them or their conversations, but he was like, Rachel doesn't need a man, right? She's just at a place in her life where that's what she wants for herself. And sometimes you are tired of being strong and doing it all by yourself, and you don't have to have that. And you're not, don't think you dependent. It's just what you want in your life. And I feel like in your 30s, you kind of get to that place. Like,
totally.
Especially like, you know, like you're successful, you figured it out. And it's like, okay, now I feel like I'm ready for this part.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the thing. She's just sort of like, doesn't need a dude, but she's seen Dale and she's now like, okay, that one, I see him and I'm going for it. It was pretty wild. But yeah, I just found her like really relatable in a whole new way for Claire and for the Bachelorette. And I think that's just a testament to like these very different circumstances. It's pretty cool. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I was like, these guys are kind of boring, but like this is a very sweet Bachelorette premiere. It's different than usual. It's not like this mess. And they're also like, there was no one who I was like, oh, that's like the scene stealer. There was no one who I was like, okay, this is like someone I'm going to be fixated on for a long time or whatever. Maybe that'll come up, but like it was just a different kind of episode.
Yeah. And I think Claire, you know, the guys might be a little bit boring, but Claire isn't, especially from all the clips that we're seeing in the upcoming episodes. And what I also really liked about Claire is she really seemed to be listening when the men were talking and genuinely into everything that they were saying and hanging on their words. She made you feel like, if you were a guy there, I could see how you felt like you were the only guy there for her. And I appreciated that about her in watching. It wasn't cheesy. The conversations were good. She seemed so happy and so grateful.
You know, it was a big indicator of that she didn't talk to everyone. She wasn't just going through the motions. She was like talking to who she wanted to for the length of time that she wanted to. And she wasn't like, and she was like, if I don't get to you, I don't get to you. And I also like that because so much of a beginning relationship is like being attracted and like wanting to like be in physical proximity to that person. And she was like, don't need to. Yep. What's the point of having them stay? So I really like that part of it too.
Just like the men who were fighting, she was like, okay, I got some more people I got to talk to. You guys can figure this out. Yeah. I'm going to go. I was like, just a woman who's in control of the situation. It feels so good.
Totally. And she wasn't sidetracked by that drama. She was like, okay, let's get the facts. And then she was done with it and she moved on. And like, that was great. I
love
appreciated
to see it.
I know you really do. You really do. So did this first episode make you feel like anything's going to play out differently than you were expecting other than just they're going all in on Dale? So like, is that a red herring or is that real?
I think it's real, but what did catch me off guard was the talk about, you know, like he's different off camera than he is on camera. I wasn't expecting all of that. And I'm just curious as to how much that plays into the season.
Yeah. You know, also though, like some men are different around men than they are around women. So like, is it an on camera, off camera thing?
All men. Oh, yeah. I believe all men are different around women than they are around men.
I don't really, you know, we don't really know as women, but like I was just like, maybe he's just different when his girlfriend's not around. That's definitely true of many men.
Yeah. I mean,
I feel like they don't suss that out enough. I've never even had that thought before this. And this is like a very common Bachelor trope, but like dudes are just different around dudes.
Yeah. I think, but there's got to be the jealousy there, right? There's always, there's a target on you when you get the first impression rose. I mean, at the time, they didn't know that she made the comment about that's my husband, but they do know that he got the first impression rose.
Right.
So they already have their eye on him and they're watching this guy. And the men are super competitive in a different way than the women are.
Right.
So they're watching his every move at this point.
Right. Right. And he is like also, he's like megawatt smile, very handsome, very tall, and just sort of like, even though he wasn't suave, he was smooth. There was a real smoothness to him.
See, I saw no smoothness.
Really?
I didn't think he was smooth, but I liked it because there is a part of me, I'm married to a shy guy. So there's a part of me that really is attractive to that, especially when you think they're one way and then they come across as another. Right. I think it's very endearing and there's a sexiness to it about me. I'm loud. I'm a lot. I'm in your face. I don't want my significant other to be that way.
You don't want a shine blocker.
Not at all. We both can't be the life of the party. Okay.
It's true.
One of us needs to be a wallflower.
It's true. It really
Hold
is
my
true.
purse.
Yeah. And you're just like, I'm going here. You stay there. It makes a lot of sense. Any other key Claire facts, like just things to know about her as we see her progress on this journey?
I asked Claire, how did you blow up The Bachelorette? Like, that's the question everyone, I was like, I'll never stop saying that. Yeah.
Well,
and then you see her crying. So that to me is shocking as well. It's like, we think that she blew up The Bachelorette because she went home with the guy. And we do see a clip where she's like, I'm sorry if I led you on, but you can't be mad at me for being in love. But I'm confused as to why she's crying when Chris says he blew up The Bachelorette. That is something that shocked me. I don't know what's behind those tears, but I did ask her the question and she was like, you know what? I'll tell you how. And I was like, oh my gosh, Claire, how? And she said, because I'm a woman who knows what I want.
Damn.
And I know who I am. And I wasn't going to have anybody telling me how I should do things. If I felt it, if I knew that this is the way I should go, I did it. And I loved that she said it because she did answer my question. She doesn't tell me who the people are involved, but she's like, I did it my way because I wanted to.
That's awesome. Good for her.
How fun is that going to be to watch?
I'm really excited.
So into it.
I'm excited. Also, it's cool. We're like, these guys are boring, but it's like, that's great. Like, let's let Claire carry it for a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll in on Claire, I guess. You know?
My fear is if the rumors are true, which they play into that as well at the end when they give you when they show the upcoming season, I'm afraid that the beginning is going to be so great. And then this latter half of it is going to be boring.
With Tayshia, allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm a little worried about that too.
And then it drops off.
I'm a little worried about that, but
like, is the climax the switch? And that's
right.
it.
I really think the format of all being in one place is like good for Tayshia, just because she was a star in Paradise and just seemed the kind of like hyper centralized drama. It was like actually good for her, and like her being at the center of a lot of different storylines worked really well on Paradise. So I think it's actually going to be good. I think she'll be good. I'm excited about her too. Also, I just feel like I feel like we got one side of Tayshia when she was on Colton's season, which was kind of like giving her a little bit of a sad story, divorced, like clearly Colton was like liked her, but wasn't like that into her and kind of was like sad. And then she seems super fun in Paradise, like with her and John Paul Jones, like you got to see a totally different, more playful side. So I'm just like, I'm sure she's got more dimension even than that. So I'm looking forward to that as well. And it's cool for like the women to be such the focus. I mean, I'm the biggest perpetrator of this because I tend to get obsessed with like 1 to 2 guys per season of The Bachelorette. But like, you know, let's let them shine. So that's great. We don't need a Tyler C, a good Tyler C. The bad one's gone, thank God.
Yeah, it'll never happen again. Don't do that again, Bachelor production. Don't do that.
No, thank you. Rachel, thank you so much. You can get more Rachel twice a week on Higher Learning on the Ringer Podcast Network, and once a week, I think. Right? Once on Bachelor Happy Hour?
Yep.
And every day on Extra?
Every day on Extra. Check your local listings.
You're so busy. Thanks so much, Rach. Great to talk to you.
Thanks for having me.